We're on Daf Yud Bet Amud Bet 12b2. Okay, so the Gemara says as follows. And let's just we'll do a quick review so that we can move forward. The Gemara was saying we are coming off of the teaching of the Mishnah, where the Mishnah was saying a very similar case to the original case of olive oil. Then we shifted of olive oil. We now went to wine, and then the Gemara said, "Why do you need both cases?" And the Gemara answered, because the two opinions, one that's more strict and one that's more lenient. If you gave me the thing that costs less, I would have thought, oh, the thing that costs less is where a guy doesn't allow. But if it would cost more, everyone would agree that you could do it. If I would have given you the example, the thing that costs more, you would say, oh, the guy that says you're allowed to do it, he only says it over here that you're allowed to do it. If it was a less item like the wine, it's less expensive, he would agree that you don't have to do, that you're not allowed to do it. So therefore, we brought both cases to teach you that that was all the case. The Gemara then raised the case, what about beer? Okay, and the Gemara said beer is also the same idea. Asked the Gemara, how do you know that it goes down in value? The Gemara brought from Abaye, who mentioned the name of his stepmother, the scaling down of value that you get for a barrel of beer of 8 sa'ah is worth the same barrel of a 6 sa'ah if it's covered. Gemara then said that you can't learn the halachot of Chol HaMoed from other things. Why? Because they're unique, and therefore you might think that you understand it and you're comparing it, but actually there might be something that you're missing. The Gemara brought an example of two opinions that talked about the smearing of pitch on a jug versus a barrel. So since a jug is small, so you'd think, of course you could do the small one, right? But the big one is a lot of work, so therefore you can't do the big one. But for the same price, you have opposite svarot, where the big one is a much bigger loss, the small one's a smaller loss. So maybe you can't do the small one because it's not enough loss. So you see that therefore a person can't understand on his own volition what these halachot are in terms of extrapolation. So the Gemara then said, we had Abaye. Abaye told us that Ilchot Moed are like Ilchot Shabbat. You have some that are patur, you have some mutar, some patur of al-asur, and some that you get punished for. And then the last thing we learned together was the beginning of this piece of Rav Huna. Let's just revert back because it's the middle of the flow. 12b1. We're going to start just go back one piece in the Gemara. Rav Huna chatzule chatza b'moed. What did he do? He cut down from the harvest in the Moed. His son asked him, "What are you doing? I don't understand. I thought you're not allowed to do that because if something is attached, the laws of davar aved don't apply, of loss don't apply to something which is attached to the ground." The Gemara says he answered him back, "No, that opinion is only that's only a shita yechida." We're on 12b2 now at the top. It's only one opinion. You truly found the Braita, but that's only one opinion. We don't hold like that. And then he brought him a Braita that says, "Kalal Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel mishum Rabbi Yossi, davar tush min hakarka, afilu miksato avud mutar." Something which is detached from the ground, even if it's going to be miksato, or even if you only lose part of it. In other words, it's not a complete loss. Mutar. Still, it's mutar. But if it's attached to the ground, afilu kulo avud, so even if it's completely lost, then it is forbidden. So you see that Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel was saying it only in the name of Rabbi Yossi, but not in the name of Rabbanan or anyone else. Please only answer amen if you're listening to this live. Moed Kattan, right? Amen. Two berachot, Jonah, rocking and rolling.
Just don't answer it live. Amen.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm writing it. Because it's not only live, that's going to be listened to, not live. So you have to tell the people not to do it, because people do it subconsciously. You have to, and I have to do it every time. Okay. Says the Gemara as follows. V'yu Rabbi Yossi. So, if the opinion of that Braita, what did Rabbi Huna just answer to his son? He said that opinion that you brought from that Braita is Rabbi Yossi. Okay, the first one. And that's why he says that if it's attached, the law of davar avud does not apply. You Rabbi Yossi, and if it's Rabbi Yossi, I don't understand. Yadush nami beperot. According to Rabbi Yossi, he should be allowed to thresh, even using oxen, right? Why? Remember we said, look at the end of that braita. You're able to do, if it's mechubar b'karka, afilu kula avad asur, v'me'en lo ma yochal, but you have nothing to eat on the holiday, you're allowed to do all the melachot. The only thing is, you can't use the cows to do the threshing. You have to do the threshing in a shinui way where you're doing it. Gemara says, Rabbi Yitzchak bar Abba said, Man tana shinui b'moed b'davar aved. We started this Gemara by saying, who's the opinion that says that for a loss, a person is allowed to do a shinui on Chol HaMoed? De lo ki Rabbi Yossi. It's Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi is that opinion. So according to Rabbi Yossi, that you're telling me now, has this law with regards to something connected to the ground, the end of that same braita says that you can't use oxen. But Rabbi Yossi says, when it comes to davar aved, a person is allowed to do it without a shinui. They don't need a shinui on the holiday. They don't have to do it with, remember the dog tooth stitching? Rabbi Yossi says, just do it. Rabbi Yossi in our Mishnah says, just put the seal on the barrel, etc., etc. Amalecha. So we have a contradiction over here. Amalecha, Rav Huna will answer, Hachanami, here too, also with regards to the Yadush Beparim, he's not trying to make you do it with a shinui. Kivan Nikol Yom Alav Beparot Daishi. So on every other day of the year, it's not always the case that people would use the cows to do the threshing. Ha'id Nalav Nami Lav Shinuyu. Since there's such a thing as threshing without cows, yani, let's say a person, I don't know, maybe if they have a smaller crop, if they can't be bothered to bring the parot, so he'll just do it without the parot. So therefore, it would not be a shinui to not do it with the parot. So the reason over here of not doing it with the parot is not because of shinui.
That's the way he did it.
In which case, it's not against Rabbi Yossi. In which case, that braita of davar avud by something which is connected to the ground, not being okay, could still be a Rabbi Yossi. Tanu Rabbanan, the Chachamim explained, Tochanin b'moed letzorach hamoed. You're allowed to grind, right, on the holiday for Chol HaMoed. Shlo letzorach hamoed asur. Let's say I'm sitting there and I'm grinding the wheat to make kibbeh burgul. Okay, let's say I want to do it. How about now I want to fill my freezer with burgul for after the holiday?
No.
Mabisir.
We said no.
Now let do it. Shlo letzorach hamoed asur. What happens if I made the cracked wheat? I made it for the holiday, but veotir, right? I had some left over. So now, this thing that I ground for use on Chol HaMoed is now extra. Do I have to throw it out, or am I allowed to use it? Hareze mutar. Says the Braita, it's mutar.
That wasn't the intention.
Exactly.
So
You were not trying to do it
So
then.
this is a repeat, Gemara, of what we said before with the stone and remember we went through that whole thing with the flour?
Yeah.
To do it for the Chol HaMoed, not for after the Chol HaMoed.
Correct, but we added something here in this
Leftovers.
Braita.
Oh, the
With the leftovers item. Okay? And so this is an important item. By the way, I'm a big leftovers fan. Leftovers could be the most important item. Okay? Hareze mutar. I might think that you can't use it. It was allowed, we were matir to do it for this. By the way, let me give you the background. There's this concept, we'll have to come across it soon. There's a concept that if someone does something on Shabbat that they were not allowed to do on Shabbat, they're not allowed to use it after Shabbat.
It's tameh.
Now, how long? There's a concept called Kadesh Yasu, which means until you would have been able to do it yourself. So let's say I baked something on Shabbat by accident or whatever. So now that I realize that I can't use it, okay, I figure I'll use it after Shabbat. You have to wait after Shabbat the amount of time it would have taken in order to bake it after. Let's say it's an 8-hour roast.
Right after.
Right.
You have to wait 8 hours.
Why? Because now you benefited
Make sure like it's
from the work that you did on Shabbat.
Moved it to a...
Why do I not want to move it?
got it.
So there's no benefit. Like you cut the line, you saved an hour. Okay.
Could have done it without Shabbat.
I can't. You know what I'm going to do?
After Shabbat.
However long it would have taken you to do it the right way, I'm going to make you wait that long. Okay. So I might have thought, grinding at Motzei holiday, I only allowed you to do it for what you needed. Maybe I shouldn't let you use it. Says the Braita, Areze mutar, you're allowed to. Could you think of another reason why we would want to make it asur? You had intention to make enough for 10 kibbehs. You wound up making 8 kibbehs. You have now 2 kibbehs worth of burger left over. Are you allowed to use it after the holiday? We said mutar. So I gave one reason why it should not be allowed, why the Mishnah needs to tell you it is. Why might I have thought, what was the hava amina, that it should be not allowed? The first answer is, what I just gave you. Maybe you would have to wait. The second answer is, how am I going to make sure you're not doing extra grinding on the holiday and you're going to grind exactly what you need? Because like you said, what did it say in the Braita? Whatever you need for the holiday, whatever you need from the holiday, allowed. Whatever you don't have, you can't grind. Who's going to, right?
How do you determine?
Who's going to be careful to make sure it's exactly the right amount if we let you use it after the holiday? Maybe I should forbid you from using it after the holiday so that when you do it, you'll do exactly the right amount. Because I have to throw out the rest. There's nothing my wife hates more than throwing out extra food.
Right.
Ooh, Lee.
So you're saying that the mindset of doing it, knowing that you could use it, you just do it. You do it 10, 12, doesn't matter. Whatever's left, I'll use it.
I might have thought.
You're not trying to be specific enough for the chula.
Correct. So I might have thought this is something that will get you to do it the right way. Says the Braita. Areze mutar. No, I get it. Good idea. We're not doing it. We're not going that far. Says the Braita. Kotzetzin etzim b'moed letzorach hamoed. You're allowed to cut down wood b'moed on chol moed tzorach hamoed for the need on the festival. Shlo tzorach hamoed asur. If it's not, what happens if you chop too much wood? Okay, allowed to use it. Same idea. Hareze mutar matilin shechar b'moed tzorach hamoed. You're allowed to brew shechar, beer, right? I always wonder, we translate shechar always beer. I wonder if there's other things like this. I remember reading that there's other interpretations for what shechar is. Shechar was like,
Is that honey?
mead is the word I was going to use. M-E-A-D. But shechar is like the alcoholic drink of a location. So like as an example, I'm not sure, maybe arak is like shechar.
Like bourbon
of Morocco.
Like that kind of.
I'm wondering.
A local
alcoholic beverage. In Germany, it's beer. Okay, but in Morocco, it's arak. In Tunisia, Algeria, it was bucha.
Island scotch.
There, Jamaica, rum.
Right.
Okay, so matilit shechar b'moed letzorech hamoed. You're allowed.
So you're saying it's like a generic word?
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. I think. I'll tell you why. Because there's 2 words that are used in halakha. One word that's used in halakha, shechar, is beer. The other word that they use is what's called chamar medina. Right? That's usually like the drink of the location. So if we have 2 different words for it, it's like bugs me that shechar should be flexible definition if we have another word for flexible definition. But think of what the word shechar comes from. Shikor. It's just an alcoholic drink. I don't know. I'm just, okay. We put by the way, I'd much rather that. Remember before, the other rabbi is like, this rabbi, he drinks beer. I'm just trying to imagine some guy chugging pints and being in the Gemara. But if he's drinking little arak,
It doesn't seem like
if he's having arak like at the class while he's doing Hokli Israel, that's on brand.
we don't think beer to like Gemara.
Exactly. But like arak, I could get it. Yeah, exactly. All right.
So you can add scotch.
What's the Carlsberg one? What was the Carlsberg advertisement always? I forget. Maybe I don't need magnesium. What if you brewed a little bit too much? Some people would say you can never brew too much beer. But if you brew too much, now, hold on. You looked out at the Gemara 1 second too fast. Look back in. Ubilvad shelo ya'arim. Don't play games with me and say, no, I'm doing this for the holiday. Because you could drink the extra.
That's
Maybe what you do, you make double hamad. You make double whatever. You chop double wood.
why the other
You do
rules-
everything.
the other rules-
Bilvad shelo yarim. Now, by the way, I just want you to know, this concept is true, is something which is prevalent all through halacha. It's called ha'arama. Ha'arama means trickery. Like when we gave you a way out and you're like, oh yeah, that's the item, I'm doing that. We told you can eat the leftovers, in the 9 days, Motzei Shabbat. So what does the wife do? She makes 42 cowboy steaks. There was no, you had 2 people at Shabbat. And then you invited 42 people for Saturday night. So the point is that the ha'arama actually makes it that the action itself was shelo l'tzorach moed. I want you to get that. You heard what Joe just said? It's not, oh, you guys are a trickster, he's a liar. The whole thing was, you're allowed to cook on the holiday for the holiday. You're not allowed to cook on the holiday for after the holiday. If you made extra, you're allowed to eat it. But, says the Braita, because if you made extra knowing there's going to be, and knowing you have guests coming Saturday night, what did you actually cook it for? Ha'arama, the trickery meat makes it that you cooked it on the holiday for after the holiday. Okay? The fact that you ate 2 of them.
That's why the other guy's Perush was right. He said maybe we need to not have it mutar because it would make you fine tune it so you don't have extra. Now, he went to that degree.
Nobody said that. I was just telling you, why do you need to say mutar? I was giving you the reason why, the logic why the Mishnah had to express harez mutar. The reason is because maybe you're going to trick like this. The reason is maybe we didn't allow you did this part be'isur, even though later on we figured out only that it was extra, but maybe now I might think that this part was asur. So I was giving you the logic as to why, but that is really what is being said over here. Exactly. That's the bilvad shelo yarim. Now the Gemara says, hold on. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you think though, when I talk about food,
Yeah.
there would be more mutar for food, right? To waste food. It's more of like a versus you went to the next thing and
To wood.
To wood. So you would really have food in another category. You made food, it's a little extra after. It makes sense. We don't want to throw the food away. We'll let you use it after that.
Now the truth is,
food though is a little
food
more,
has more, we have more
a little
kavod for food than we have
We
for the
don't
wood.
waste food, it's a sin to waste food.
Yeah, but it's also a sin to waste anything.
But wood lasts.
It's Isur from the Torah.
wood you
But if we're never letting you use it, it doesn't last. You have to throw it away. In other words,
No, but you could understand why they're addressing food. It's a little more delicate of a situation.
So you might have thought
And you
food.
said wood.
You come now, wood tells you that even for
It
wood.
went further.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying.
And not only drink either. Third
what
one.
I'm saying.
Third one was drink.
Right.
So like if the Gemara would ask, why did you need that? This could be an answer to that. Okay. Gemara says, Viramini. Hold on.
Right.
Let me ask you a contradicting braita. Matilin shechai b'moed etzorach moed. You're allowed to brew beer on the holiday on chol moed. Excuse me, for chol moed. Shlo tzorach moed asur. If it's for after, you're not allowed. Echad shechai temarim, ve'echad shechai seorim. So you see here exactly this point. What do you make bucha from, by the way? Figs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you make arak from? Anis. Okay. Says the Gemara. Echad shechar. If you made the beer from temarim, from dates, or ve'echad shechar seorim, you made the beer from what it's normally made from barley. Either way, you're allowed to. V'afa pi shesh lo yashan. Even though the guy has old beer in his basement, right?
I think you're right on
1 second, hold on. He's allowed. He has old beer in his basement.
So why make new?
So why are you saying I need it for the moed? Go down to the basement. Marim v'shotem min echadash. You're allowed actually, okay, to brew new beer, drink your new beer, and leave your old one in the basement.
Right.
So what did the Braita just do? It just said that you're allowed to be marim. You're allowed to sketch. I have stock in the basement. You can still make it. Ooh, and in fact, it actually uses the word marim.
You're not sketching though. You're not sketching because I'm keeping the basement as a preserve. I don't have to use it, and I'm honestly intending to use it for the holiday, making a new batch.
Okay.
That's not sketching. Just because I choose not.
No. You're right. It's not sketching. But at first glance,
then you don't need it.
At first glance, you see?
Oh, it's about
But
necessity.
it says tzorech
If you
moed.
need to do it for the
You need to do it for the moed. You can't do it. So what am I doing? I'm brewing new beer, and now I'm drinking my new beer, but I didn't need it.
A lot of things apply like that. You don't
Yeah.
have to do it because you have it. Right?
Okay, so the Gemara.
But you know,
It seems like the first Braita. Hold up.
I'm out.
Oh, no, you're not out. You're not out. By the way, what are you sketching? Well, I talked about Fat Jack before. Now I'm talking about Wise Jack. Okay, stand now. Hold on. Tanai. The Gemara says, the Machloket Tanaim. The Tanya, we have now a third Braita. So we had one Braita that says, brew the beer, only if you need it. Second, can't do no shtick. Second Braita says, Fadda, brew the beer, even if you have beer downstairs, so long as you're drinking it. You're allowed to play this game. So, allowed to sketch or not allowed to sketch? Says the Gemara, third Braita Tanai. Titanya, in ma'arimin bekach. A person's not allowed to use harama, to use trickery in terms of doing this. Rabbi Yossi bar Yehuda Omer, ma'arimim. Rabbi Yossi bar Yehuda says, you're allowed to sketch.
I love Rabbi.
He's very liberal.
He's my man.
Yours is like maybe the other synagogue. Sammy.
He's from Brooklyn.
Sammy
No,
Sammy-
that's the Joe.
reforming, yeah.
What does Joe say? That's the yeshiva. I support his yeshiva. Okay. So,
By the way, I want to get back something. This date thing. You see dates?
yes.
That puts a little bit credence. There's no date beer. Credence to the local.
To the
liquor.
local shechar.
That
Yes.
alludes to that a little bit.
Yes.
That we're not so beer barley.
Yes. What? That we're not specific on the item.
right.
Who drinks date beer? By the way, I would have agreed with that until I saw for Purim, for Pesach, where they have to make all the kosher for Passover items. And for the first time in my life, I had Moses brand, on brand, by the way, name for Pesach. Moses brand date vodka.
Date vodka.
Sweet potato vodka I had. By the way, it was delicious. Either way, point is, says the Gemara.
The alcohol then.
Says the Gemara. Right? So therefore we have two opinions. Allowed to play games, not allowed to play games. Gemara continues.
By the way, what
Rav.
What halakha do we follow?
Sorry? We're going to come to
Point
it.
to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rav chatzlu lechatzda v'chol moeda. What happened? We got back to this now. Rav, they cut for him his wheat or barley on Chol Moed. Shama Shmuel ikpid. Shmuel, who was always the person who argued with Rav, he was upset. He didn't like it. Lema Shmuel ki yichidas virale. So why did Shmuel not like the fact that Rav was harvesting on Chol Moed? So let's run through the options. One option is maybe Rav didn't eat it on Chol Moed. That's why Shmuel didn't like it. Why can't that be? Why can't it be that the case was that Rav did not need the harvest on Chol Moed, and that's why Shmuel was upset?
The harvest was for the food.
Because you're allowed to do it.
No, maybe he didn't need it. I'm saying maybe the reason why Shmuel was upset because the case was that Rav didn't need it for the holiday.
Rob wouldn't have cut the wheat.
Nailed it, Morris. What? Right? Why would Rav have done it? Everybody knows you can't do that. So that can't be the case. So the answer is, if Rav did it, it must have been legal, right? He's not going to do it. He's not a sketch. So if Rav had a good reason, why did Shmuel disagree? But if Shmuel disagreed, why did Rav say it was okay? So we got to figure out what's the machloket here between Rav and Shmuel. Okay? What I just gave you is the outline, the backdoor understanding for how we look at a machloket like this, in a case like this. He must have had a good reason. But if he had a good reason, why doesn't he agree? So he has a good reason. Okay, but then why doesn't he agree? The answer is, Got it? He held to this. He held to this. Says the Gemara, Lema Shmuel ki yichidas v'yaleh. Maybe the machloket is, Shmuel held like that one opinion. Who is it? That we mentioned earlier about Rav Huna, like Rabbi Yossi, who said that the law of davar aved, of something getting lost, is only relevant when it's detached from the ground. An object that's attached to the ground, can't do it. Maybe that's what Shmuel holds. Lema Shmuel ki yichidas v'yaleh. And therefore, why did Rav do it? Because Rav did not hold. No, Rav did not hold of the Yechidah guy. Okay? The Gemara answers, lo. No, that's not the case. Chatzda dechiti hava de lo have psid. Says the Gemara, since it was chatzda dechiti, it was the unharvested grain made of wheat. Wheat is hardy enough that if you leave it an extra 6 days, whatever, 7 days after the holiday, no problem. So since wheat is okay, it could last till after, it's not going to be wasted. So Shmuel held, how you doing this, Rav? It's not a davar aved. It's not something which is going to suffer a loss. So leave it. Now, by the way, now if you need it for the holiday, Shmuel also would have allowed him to do it.
Right.
You see, that's the back forth. This is the best Gemara training.
Yeah.
It's the ping-ponging in your brain. Like, oh, here's the answer. No, but that doesn't work with him. Okay, here's the answer. That doesn't work with him. Oh, what's the answer? He has one answer. The other guys, you get it? Like that. Okay. Says the Gemara. Virav, you should just know, I just want to bring out one thing. Actually, I'll do what I don't want to distract you. Virav, my ta'ama avirachi. So 1 second. If we just answered Shmuel that the wheat would last, why did Rav do it? That's the ping pong back. Answers the Gemara, En lo ma yochal hava. He didn't have what to eat. Shmuel, 1 second. So then why is Shmuel objecting? Everyone holds if you don't have what to eat. You see? That's this is the game.
They had too much beer.
Right?
Why is he objecting?
Why is he objecting? Shmuel, lo saimu akameh. For Shmuel, they didn't finish telling him the story that Rav, they're just like, oh, did you know that they're harvesting Rav? He's like, what kind of harvest are they harvesting? Wheat. They're like, wheat. He's like, wheat doesn't need to be harvested. I object. They're like, no, but he needed it. Shmuel says, So therefore, lo saimu kameh. They didn't tell Shmuel the whole story. By the way, how often is it that we object?
We jump
to a conclusion, and they didn't finish. But it was the people's problem. The people didn't tell him the full story. So he said, according to what you're telling me, Mabisir. Sometimes that happens. They're like, Rabbi, you don't know. This rabbi in Brooklyn, he did this. I'm like, impossible.
Yeah, but a good rabbi asks.
I always tell them that. They're like, I'm telling you, that's not what happened. They're like, no, I was there. I was like, you were there, but you don't know the halakha. You weren't watching. You didn't see what happened. He was doing it with his left hand. 2 people were helping him. There was something impossible that rabbi did what you're suggesting that he did. And you know what happens always? A week later, they're like, tail between their legs. Rabbi. They're like, I went and I checked it out. We went to the videotape. I throw the challenge flag. Okay. Says the Gemara. Another answer. We've done this answer 50 times already. Adam Chashuv Shani.
Back.
Shmuel says, Rav.
If Rav did it.
Your name literally is Rav. The people are holding you. Hebrew National. Biggest irony. Highest standard, NK. The answer to a higher authority. They mean the CEO. Not good.
So he shouldn't have done it because he's a Rav.
So Shmuel said, Rav, you're an extra guy, right? People are watching. Maybe they don't know what you're doing. By the way, I had it today.
It's interesting.
During Shema, my hand is killing me. You're supposed to take all 4 of the tzitziot. A lot of things I could do with my left hand. I'm pulling on my talit. I pull on the other talit like this. Go get your back left tzitzit item with your left hand. So what I was doing, I was holding 2 of them in my hand. And I know that my father once told me, someone came to him and asked him, how come you're holding 2 tzitzit in your hand? I saw you were kissing the 2 tzitzit. How come you're doing this? The halakha is you have to take all 4.
So how did you resolve it?
My father said, I came late to tefillah, I was up to Baruch She'amar. But some people, they're watching.
Genius.
They want to chop the rabbi. They want to, or they want to learn.
Not easy.
Some people are trying to catch you out. Some people are trying to learn. Shmuel says, Rav, your wheat is in the field. You know what everyone's going to think? They're going to think you're allowed to do it because of psedah. Now, it happens to be you don't have any at home, but no one else knows that. And if they don't know that, what are they going to think? They think that you're allowed to do it. But wheat needs to be left because it's able to survive the extra 6 days, 7 days.
There's nothing to eat for the holiday.
Even Shmuel saying, since you're Adam Chashuv, no, go buy it from the store. Go harvest someone else's wheat and tell them you'll pay him back wheat after the holiday.
Just to avoid.
Anything but cutting your wheat where people.
Something that
Yeah. Marit ayin, therefore, as we said earlier, the tefillin, always on a higher standard for a higher level aigay. Okay? Says the Gemara, another example of this. Rabbi Yehuda Nisi'ah nafak bechumreta dimdosha. Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, okay, this is the great Rabbi Yehuda, right? One time, he went out and he was wearing his a ring, bechumreta dimdosha. It was made out of midosha, okay? Ishti maya de'achem kpela arma'a. And once during, not on Shabbat, but he drank water that was heated up by someone who wasn't Jewish. Shama Rabbi Ami heard, ikpid. He said, Rabbi, you can't do that. Why? Even though these things are allowed for someone. Look at Rashi for 1 second. Rashi says, explains, chumreta devedosha. See, right in the middle? He went out on Shabbat with this tabati shel matechet v'chotama shel almog. It's a metal ring, but then it has a signet at the top made out of almogud, right? And what happened at the time? He drank the water that was heated up by Arami. Now, what's the problem? Now look down at the bottom. You see it in the bottom, the small Rashis? So it's about 10 lines from up from the narrow lines in the bottom. Nafik b'chumreta demidosha yatsa b'tabaat lechatzero. He went out to his courtyard, like the Rashi said on the side. Shelo hayta mimatechet. It was not from wood, from metal. Ela me'oto etz shel midosha. It was made from the etz called midosha. And we say in Masechet Shabbati shel almog. In Masechet Shabbat it describes that wood as almog wood. V'chotama shel matechet. And it's the signet was of metal, or he shel matechet, or the ring was matechet, v'chotama shel almog, and the top was of wood. Hareze asura, that is forbidden on Shabbat. A metal ring with a wood top, or a wood ring with a metal top is forbidden on Shabbat. The tabat michuereti, because that kind of tabat it's ugly. It's not a nice tabat. Ve'en tachshit shel ish. So therefore, no one could claim that they're wearing it in a hatzer and it's jewelry. If I walk out an area with no eruv, am I allowed to walk out with a piece of jewelry? Yes. Why? Because the reason why I'm not carrying an object, I'm wearing jewelry. That's the laws of tachshit, okay? So you have something which is wood with metal, it's not nice, it's not fancy, so you can't call it jewelry.
It loses
the status of jewelry.
Yes.
So if you walk out with a ring like that, you're carrying. Okay?
That's interpretation though.
Ela im ken hi v'chotama shel nechoshet. Unless the top and the bottom are made out of copper. Tehashta v'tachshit umutar letzet b'shabbat lechatzer aval lo l'reshut abim. Now over here we were only allowing you to go out in your chatzer. Why? Because your chatzer is like a quasi area of carrying. Avalo l'reshut rabim. But just to be clear, not l'reshut rabim. V'ha ka'asrin lechatzero, and we forbid the chatzer mishum reshut rabim, because of reshut rabim. Okay, so the Gemara over here says that Rabbi Yehuda one time went out into the chatzer wearing a ring like this. One time, v'ishti maya, continue in Rashi, he drank water, not now on Shabbat, on Chol. This guy, the Arami, he was not Jewish. He heated up the water for him. You know, in order for cooking, when any one time someone cooks something for you, cooking is only done by a Jewish person. You can't eat something that was cooked by a non-Jewish person. That's why they're always turning on the fire, the Jewish person, right? By the way, today, they have it set on a timer. So a Jew comes, sets the time, it gets set for the whole year in one shot.
Wow.
Now, every day, why is it turning on? Because of a Jew. That's Bishul Yisrael.
It's allowed.
It's a very good one. Tremendous save, right? That's very easy.
So you're not allowed to wear the wood with the copper ring outside the eruv? Is what we're saying here? Can't carry, it's not carrying?
Correct.
But that's a halakha?
Yes.
But you have a beautiful ring somebody gave you, your mother gave you a beautiful ring. It's wood and it's got, to you it's a jewelry.
No. No, it's not jewelry. It's very precious to me
No, but why would it not be jewelry?
because it's
Because this guy says
objective.
it's not
Because it's
jewelry.
objectively mechoeret. In other words, the only reason why people would use the wood piece is because it was a better signet ring. You're not allowed to use a signet ring on Shabbat.
Oh, because of its purpose.
It's purpose, exactly.
Oh, the wood
So
signifies its purpose.
the only reason why someone would use that is because of the signet item. Now you want to tell me, oh no, I'm not wearing a signet. I'm wearing a piece of jewelry. No. If it's nice enough, fine. Then you can tell me that I'm not using it as a signet ring. I'm using it as a this. But the minute it's made out of half wood, half steel, only for signet. Yeah, asur. Okay, that's the item over here. Now, by the way, I want to give you a fascinating halakha. You have a beautiful a watch. You're wearing the watch out in public.
Sure.
Why are you wearing? Carrying.
They wear it.
No, carrying it. Why am I allowed to wear a watch?
Because you're wearing it.
Answer is, I'm wearing a
Jewelry?
tachshit. I'm wearing a piece of jewelry.
Okay. Qualified.
Hold up. Here we go for the qualifier.
Oh, but it tells time.
Tells time. Are you wearing a piece of jewelry
time
or
or
are you wearing a timepiece?
That's a good question.
How do you know that you consider it a piece of jewelry? What happens if the watch stops? Do you wear the watch out if the watch stops?
No.
Then, absolutely, I have worn
you're
a
allowed
watch
to.
out, fancy watch.
It's a jewelry.
Yeah,
It's
my
like-
wife has worn. I told her. She says, "What time is that?" I said,
have
"Check your
watches
watch."
that don't even work.
What does she tell
They
me?
wear it 'cause
She tell me it stopped. Oh, why are you wearing it? She says it goes with the outfit. That's tachshit.
Jeez.
You have a beautiful Rolex.
Jeez, I can't forget.
Nobody cares that it's the right time. You're not spending all that. A Timex for $2
What about the
tells
fact
you the
that-
time.
But what effect?
I'm wearing this because it's gorgeous.
what about the
Now,
time?
if you ever catch yourself, you see your watch doesn't tell time, you take it off and you don't wear it, then you know you can't wear that watch on Shabbat.
Right. If you're only
Unless
wearing it for
you're
the-
unless you're in Eruv. You're only wearing it for the time. Okay?
Ever take it off
So you're saying if you're only using it for the time,
And how do you know that? When it stops, if you took it off and you won't wear it, then you know. Now hold up a second. Let's say,
that's
Stunner, ready for this?
That's crazy.
Let's say I took my watch off.
I would only wear my watch for my time.
Hold on, ready? Hold up, ready? Joe,
That's not true.
you use Panerai?
That doesn't matter. It's
Panerai, right?
I didn't take the time. It's
Panerai.
Yeah, but
I remember seeing it on
Yeah.
by Birkat Kohanim. Okay?
But why that
Stunner, one
one?
second.
Wear any garment.
Let's say, Joe, I'm gonna give you a good one. You're gonna give money to my yeshiva now. Let's say you take off your watch. My yeshiva? Not my yeshiva.
Well, yeshiva is.
Oh, to the Torah Center. Not my yeshiva. Yeah, oh, I didn't realize I'm the Rosh Yeshiva.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't land. Okay.
That's obvious.
I meant my rabbi's yeshiva. Ready for this? I'm gonna hit you for that. Hold up! Who told me this? Okay, ready for this? Let's say you take off the Panerai. Let's say you take off the watch. But I took off the watch and I swapped it with my other watch, my Rolex, my Patek,
Cartier, yeah,
my Cartier. Do I say at this moment that I can't wear that watch anymore in a place with no Eruv?
Maybe.
No.
no.
Took it off.
I have two options. This piece of this object, which does not tell the time, is a piece of jewelry in my mind as well. If I had no other watch, I would wear it. Why am I switching? Because this object has tachshit plus time. So if you have one watch and you won't wear it out, that is a revelation that you actually
Time.
are using it only for time. If I have two watches and I don't wear it,
Because the choice.
it's not that I'm not wearing it. It's that I'm wearing this one instead of this one. You got
The
it?
choice makes it a different.
Yes. The fact that you have a choice means it's not that I'm saying this isn't jewelry. It's that I'm saying I'd prefer that piece of jewelry. This one still maintains. So the halakha would not be that you can now not wear it in a place where there's no eruv. Where there's an eruv, by the way, of course you can wear it. Hold on, what if there's a eruv which is okay according to some opinions? Sometimes when you have a halakha which is like questionable or better not to, what we'll say is the fact that there's an eruv but it's not so good is enough for me to say, that I don't have to be strict. Because there is eruv, I'm being strict not to use it. I'm not going to put a strict on top of another strict.
Okay, so if
You got
have a
that?
question, by the
Right?
way, if you're in a little
That's like a gzera to
so
gzera.
if you're in a little indecision, you don't worry.
Exact. No, but what happens if now I have a indecision on the eruv? Oh, I'm not giving money to your yeshiva. Joe just nailed me. Bye. Joe said I'm Adam Chashuv. I can't do anything. I'm gonna come to shul naked. I don't know. I'm not. I wasn't sure what I was allowed to wear.
Watch qualify because it's
Apple Watch,
electronic.
whole other item.
We're opening up.
We don't even.
No, we're
What?
opening up.
Well, I just saw Pandora. Okay, let's go. Okay. We got from Panerai to Pandora.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, we open up.
Let's hit the last piece here. I want to get to the Mishnah, but it's up. Okay, you know what? Should we leave it?
Yeah. Don't start a new thing.
No, it's not new. Okay, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. We'll leave it.
Oh, where are we ending?
Like another page.
We're ending on
How about?
12B.
But there's more goods here, so I don't want to not do justice to the goods. Okay. Baruch Hanei Le'olam.